Hi, I'm Dr. Diana Montero, and I'm a counseling psychologist in Hyderabad. I want to tell you today about an issue that I've been getting a lot of questions about career counseling for students in their 10th. Because of the pandemic, we've actually not been offering our regular career counseling services because they actually involve, doing an actual interview with the child as well as doing some testing, and the testing is not possible because of COVID. But then I was thinking about what can I offer people that will help them make a decision about what to do after the 10th. So here are my thoughts on that. Right? So if you are in the 10th standard right now, you're probably struggling with the online classes, with what's going to happen with your 10th, and then what's going to happen after. A lot of parents are calling me and asking me, what do I do after 10th? Where should I put my child? What subjects should they choose? And it shouldn't be that hard a decision to make, right? So let me tell you how I help people think about it and what you need to be thinking about, both as a parent of a child in the 10th going into the 11th, as well as if you're a child in the 10th itself, right? Now, the simplest one is this. If you know what you want to do, go ahead and choose that, right? That's the most straightforward as it can get. Most of the time, the decision is made by what we want to do, not whether it's good for us or not, okay? Now, the whether it's good for us or not is also something to be thinking about, right? So let me tell you how I think about it overall. Firstly, I want to know what does a child want to do? Do they want to study math or do they want to study biology? Now, the reason I'm choosing math and biology specifically is because I come from a state where it seems like almost everybody and their grandmother has taken maths, physics, chemistry, or biology, physics, chemistry when you're in the 11th and 12th, right? Now, there are so many other curriculum out there, certainly, but I still think a majority of the population seems to believe that math or biology are the two ways to go: be an engineer or be a doctor, right? Now, obviously, those are not the only options, and we know there are many other options out there. But the challenge is in 11th and 12th, a lot of colleges, our education system doesn't seem to have caught up with all the other options out there. So for 11th and 12th, the way I still think about it is if you're just a regular person studying 11th and 12th and you want to do CBSE or ICSE, or any of the other boards out there, what's happening is you are having to choose either MPC or BIPC or a combination of the two, which I would never recommend doing M BIPC because that's just too much for a child to take in 11th and 12th, right? Now, if you want to be an engineer, yes, you got to choose MPC, and that's straightforward. Go ahead and do it, right? Now, the things to think about there are whether you'll be good at it or not, and we'll come to that in just a minute, okay? If you want to be a doctor, you have to choose BIPC, no other choice in the matter. Okay. Now, if you don't want to do either, be an engineer or be a doctor, and you don't know what you want to do, then I would still say MPC or BIPC are indeed good choices for you because they leave the most options open for the future in your undergraduate. Okay. Now, you don't like math, you don't like biology, you want to leave science behind completely, you can choose an arts-based or a commerce-based subject. Now, the challenge is that when you choose an arts-based subject, only arts is left open to you in undergrad. When you choose commerce, commerce and arts are open to you. But if you choose the sciences, commerce, and arts are all open to you in your undergraduate, right? So that's the first step. Now, let's say that you want to choose maths, physics, chemistry, okay, because most is going to be open to you if you choose that, and you don't know what you want to do in your undergraduate. Okay, perfectly fine. Questions I would ask myself are these: am I good at math in 10th? Am I good at physics? Am I good at chemistry? Am I good at science? Am I good at biology? If you are already good, and what does good mean? Not you think you are good, but that you are getting good marks in the subject. Are you getting good marks in these subjects? If you are getting good marks in these subjects and it doesn't come with a ton of effort, right? Meaning that you study and you do pretty well in them, then chances are you have something called good ability in the area. Now, here's where we get more psychological, right? There are four things I look at when I'm looking at what career to choose: your personality, your abilities, your interests, and your values, right? Now, two of these are not very changeable. Your personality and your abilities are not very changeable. Your interests and your values are quite changeable. So think of it like if you take, a cricketer, like, we have, I guess, Virat Kohli comes to mind, right? He's got interest, clearly he likes cricket, right? And he's got the ability, he actually plays cricket well as well. Now, you and I might want to be like him, we might have the interest, we might love cricket, But interest is not enough. You have to have the ability, which means something that is innate within you that says, yes, you are going to be good at it, right? So first thing I would be looking at is whether you have the ability to do well in something. Now, you might not know your ability, and we have some ability tests that will tell us your general abilities in areas, okay? But a good way to tell your ability in general is to look at the marks you've gotten thus far, right? If you have excellent ability in math, math will come really easy to you, and you've already always gotten good marks at math in school. That's the way to think about it, right? So if your ability is good, great, you can go ahead and take it for the 11th and 12th. If your ability is really bad, meaning that you're always failing and you're struggling to do well, do not choose that subject in your 11th and 12th, because you will continue to struggle. It's not going to get easier, right? Now, if there's some magical reason like you do well but you never study and therefore you've never done well, okay, I'll agree. But for the most part, ability typically means that you would do well even with not too much studying, right? Now, in the 11th and 12th, you will have to study no matter what. However, if the ability is not there, no matter how much you study, you will struggle. Therefore, if you are bad at science or math in 10th, don't take it in 11th and 12th. It's a really bad idea, right? Choose a commerce or an arts-based subject, because you can do much better in that area, right? Now, the other thing we think about is personality. There's a particular test of personality called the MBTI, which actually tells us what personality is suited to what career, right? And if the general way to think about it is, and you can actually go and look online for the MBTI, and it'll actually give you lots of information about what your personality is and what careers might be good for you. Now remember, this is again not a test saying you'll be good at this career. It's saying that people in with these personality types choose this career. This means that, I'm an extrovert. I like public speaking, for example. So it'll say, oh, you're an extrovert, do public speaking. It won't tell me whether I'm good at it or not. Hopefully I'm good at it, but it will not tell me whether I'm good at it or not, right? So if you're a huge introvert, right, being a teacher, being a public speaker, being a politician might be very difficult for you. So that's how we put ability and personality together. Now, ability and personality don't change very much. So by the time you're 16, 17, 18, they're solidifying, but they're not changing. You're not turning from an introvert to an extrovert or an extrovert to an introvert, right? If you didn't have math ability, you won't get it real easily later, right? My son is 5 and he does math very easily. It just comes naturally to him. I am, in my 40s, I still don't get math very easily. I don't have that ability very easily, right? In that way, we need to think about what you're good at intrinsically, since when you've been born and when you've grown up. That's ability and that's personality. The rest of it is interests and values. What do you like? Now let's say my son is really good at math, right? So he's super good right now. He grows up and he continues to be super good at it, but he hates it. He doesn't like it at all. Don't do it then. Because people often think that, oh, if you're really smart, you're really good at something, of course you'll do well at it. No, not at all. You can do something really, really well, but hate doing it. So interest is required for that. If you're good at something, you better like it as well in order to be able to do it. Otherwise, it's a bad idea to do it, right? So that's how we look at interests. Now, interests are a tricky thing. They are changing. So what my son likes now at 5, he likes dinosaurs and guns and things like that. He's not going to like when he's 15. I'm assuming that that will change. In the same way, our interests change as well. So if you have even some interest in the area, you can explore whether that interest will increase or whether you hate it. If you hate it, don't do it. But if you have some interest, there is hope that you can indeed go on and like it more in the future if you study it more, right? And your values are the most changeable, which is not necessary for you to know right away when you are trying to choose a career for 11th and 12th, right? So overall, parents, the way to think about it is, don't push your child into doing math or biology and science with it, because if their ability is not suited to that, they will do poorly and then it's hell for everybody. Instead, know that there are tons and tons and tons of careers out there, and choosing commerce is perfectly good an option. In fact, it's a fantastic option nowadays. Choosing arts is a perfectly good option because, as we all know, and most of us have done this, what we study in 11th and 12th, how many marks we get, hardly has anything to do with how well we succeed in our careers, right? So make the choice right for yourself. Now, I'm sure I've probably raised more questions than I've answered by telling you all of this. So please know that we are available for career counseling. as soon as COVID is done, we will be back to doing career counseling, which should be in a few weeks to a few months, hopefully. If you come in to see us, we will do an interview with you and your parents. We will talk to all of you about what you want to do, how you've done academically. Then we'll give you tests, which will be personality, abilities, interests, and values. Put that information together and give you a summary and a report and a recommendation as to what you should study next. However, also know that you don't need that to be able to make a decision. If you know what you want to do and you already are good at it, go ahead and choose that. It's the perfectly right way to move forward. If you don't know what you want to do reach out to one of us counselors in town, and we'll be happy to assist you. Good luck and stay safe. Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Hope you liked the video. Please do subscribe to our channel. And if you need additional psychological help, please call the numbers on your screen. Have a great day.